So today I had different plans and I was going to make gnocchi and muffins, but then I went to grocery shopping and I saw they had a great deal on meat. And so I thought, well, we're gonna change gears. I'm gonna saute some onions and I'm gonna can some beef and some chicken. So I just filled my jars and put my lids and rings on properly. I'm doing a raw pack method where I sterilize the jars and I put the protein in at a raw state. And some recipes say that you can add canning salt in there. I opted not to, just because I can adjust the seasoning when I get to that point. So for my altitude and for the proteins I'm canning and how they were prepared, I'm going to be pressure canning these at 15 pounds pressure for about 85 to 90 minutes. Now that the cans are in the pressure cooker, or pressure canner, excuse me, I've made sure that the seal is even along the top, and I've bolted down all the bolts so it should be able to create pressure and steam. So once we get a stream of steam coming out of this vent, then we will time it for 10 minutes and then we'll put our 15 pounds weight on. So it's kind of faint and hard to see, but there's already steam coming, so we just need that to come in a steady flow, and then I'll start the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes with this stream of steam, and now I'm gonna put my weight of 15 on it. And what we're going to wait to hear is we need to have 4 jiggles per minute. So we're going to have to build up pressure. We're only at not even 5 yet, so it's gonna take a while, but once we get to that point where it's close to 15, then we'll start hearing the weight rattle, and then we can start our timer from that point for 90 minutes. Just wanted to give you an update on our onions. They are just slightly getting sun-kissed, I guess you could say. I'd like them to get a little more golden. I might add a little sprinkling of sugar just to caramelize it a little bit more, but once that gets done, I'll show you what the end result is, and I think we're gonna probably freeze some of this for future use, and patty melts sounded so good, so I think we might have those this weekend. So now I'm going to time it for 1 minute and see if we can get 4 jiggles. So here's our finished caramelized onions. I'm just letting them cool before I add them or put them in the fridge. While I was at the grocery store today, I went over to the clearance section in the produce aisles, and they had this whole bundle of avocados for $1.50, and I was like, that's fantastic. So I'm gonna take care of them right now and freeze them into smaller portions, so then I can add them to smoothies, or if I wanted to make an avocado pudding, I can do that. I make that for my kids. I'll make it into like little popsicles, and they seem to really enjoy it. And then shout out to Steep Mountain Farm for bringing over some gorgeous tomatoes. I'm so excited to process these. So I just cut into my first avocado, and there was a little bit of blemish on the side, so I just cut those off. Again, for all those avocados, it was $1.50. So I have 5 avocados that are in freezer bags that I can use whenever. I ate one because I was feeling a little hungry, and I have 2 other avocados that I'm gonna use this weekend. I was grabbing the mail outside, and I was looking at my apple tree and just thought, I'm gonna hurry and pick the last of the apples and make applesauce. So I'm just gonna peel the skins. Got a compost bowl. I'm putting the skins in for my chickens. And I'll cut it in quarters. Remove the core. And I'm putting it in lemon water so it doesn't oxidize and turn brown. So I'll continue to do that until I'm all done with these apples. So I got some sourdough starter from our local bakery and decided to zhuzh it up with my favorite flour blend, which is rye and bread flour. I think it gives it a really nice nuttiness to whatever I'm making. And so I just supplemented those two flours instead of their original all-purpose flour that they use at the bakery. So today I had one package of bacon and I decided to cook it in the oven using a wire rack on top of a rimmed baking pan or sheet. So I could also save the fat to use for something else. But I like how it crisps up the bacon and it just is a nice texture for my family. And with that, what I do is I like to store it in these bags and then put it in the freezer and just grab it. These these prunes are a little special to me because I actually dehydrated them myself. Our friends just gifted us some goat shanks, and I found this recipe online and it sounded so delicious. It uses shallots, garlic, prunes, chicken stock, brandy, white wine, rosemary, and bay, and I thought this is going to be delicious, and it was. I blended the sauce all together and returned the goat shanks back to the pot. Thank you for spending time with me in the kitchen. I hope you have an incredible upcoming week.